Hello, everybody. Welcome to Global Sassitude. We are now into another episode where we are going to discuss something really interesting because right now, half a year is almost going to be over for 2025. Well, a lot of things have happened. We have seen in the international world, there's a change in US president. We have seen some saga in the global economic situation where there's tariffs, no tariffs, and it got us all confused what has happened. But most importantly, I would also say there are some things that have happened in our lives we want to be better in the second half of the year. And my name is Pauline. I am a financial wellness mentor.
Hi, my name is Shirley and I'm a beauty business coach.
And I am Lisa. I help women rise, grow, and rewrite the rules beyond divorce.
Wow, thank you very much. You see, we have three different ladies here today to share with us more on this topic about what we want to achieve for the second half of this year, 2025. And of course, first come, we have Lisa because she had something that is really a major change in 2025. Lisa, do you want to share with us what is your status right now? What is your new role from June onwards?
My new role. I'm very excited to say that I've left the corporate world to follow my mission to help women recreate a life beyond divorce. So as of last week, I no longer work for anyone but myself. And I'm really excited actually. I've got big plans to get programs out for women, and I'm trying to work out how to get them out globally and locally here in Australia. So yeah, I'm very excited. I haven't not had a boss for a long time.
Now you're own boss.
Yeah.
So maybe you want to share with us a little bit more about your big plans. And probably before that, I would just like to ask, because I'm not sure about Shirley, maybe Shirley can later on share with us a little bit more as well. I worked 10 years as an employee before I started up my business. So maybe Lisa, you want to share with us as an employee for how many years? 30 years, is it? Okay, nearly 40 years. Maybe, Lisa, I think many of our audiences here are also employees. And probably they want to ask you this question. How did you survive this 40 years? How do you make it fresh? Or were you just an employee that every day just live in the grind?
I did jobs that I liked. I worked with government, but I had fabulous jobs. A lot of them were in compliance areas. Like I had stints in administration with police, industry, revenue, which is where you pay all your fines. And then I finished up in the education sector. I did jobs that I liked. I guess at the end of the day, if I didn't like a role and it wasn't for me, I couldn't be authentic in it. So I just always made sure that I had roles that I liked. I liked roles that helped people. And I had roles where I led people as well. And I think leading people was really important to me because I like to lead people to be the best they can be. And I guess that's really where I'm venturing now, into helping women be the best they can be. So yeah, just make sure you have a job that you like is my advice. And if you've got strengths, use those strengths. Like I know I do like to lead and I like to people become the best they are. So they're the type of roles that I like to be in.
So today we will be focusing a lot about probably more in employees. And I believe Lisa Shirley comes from two different sectors. One from maybe the employee side of 40 years. And Shirley, you have been an entrepreneur and employer for many years. Probably you could also let us know, what do you look for in a competent or an employee? If I'm an employee and I want my second half of the 2025 to be really a fascinating year and awesome year, how should I behave and what are you looking for in an employee?
Yeah, thank you for asking me. Because when I left school, I wasn't always great in school, so I left school at standard 9 to actually go and study online because I sort of convinced my dad that online was going to be better for me. So I was an employee for 8 years and I really struggled. It just didn't work out. I normally wanted to tell my bosses how they should run their companies. It didn't work out. I ended up signing a lot of written warnings. I was in hearings all the time because I wasn't, I was quite a rebel back then. And I've been in business now by myself for 13 years. And my advice to someone would be, especially if I'm looking for someone, I need someone that is really authentic, but someone that can not just listen and obey rules, but that's got their own boundaries. believe in themselves, know what their strengths are, and just trust that they can deliver what needs to be delivered. So being their authentic self, I think, is for me, it's always been very important.
Yes. So, what we are looking for in 2025, first of all, believe in yourself. Yeah, that should start off first. It's so important to believe in ourselves. And Lisa also shared with us this thing. Apart from believing in ourselves, would be love what we love to do and do what we love to do, right? So let's put this into some concrete plans for the next half of the year. And it sounds so simple to believe in something and love what we want to do. But what if it's right now, kind of like there are people in this half of the year, I find that they are not really, doing something that they like. And they want to now have something to look forward to in the next half of the year of 2025. We are talking about now 6 months is gone. I do not want to waste my 2025. And as an employee, do you have any advice for them how they could probably look out for in their career?
As an employee, you're actually in a job that you don't like. Make steps to upskill, perhaps, to get the job that you do like. There's so many online training courses that you can do. Be bold, be brave, like I am. If it's within your capacity in your life to actually make a career change and go and do what you love. What I've learned, especially sort of at my age, is you've only got one chance, so you might as well do what you love. We're 6 months left to the end of the year. I guess in that midway point when you can stop and reflect to see if you are achieving personally and professionally, then just make those little changes now before the year does slip away from you. So that makes sense.
That totally makes sense to really take a look, reflect. I think one of the key things that most people or all of us should be doing, take a half year point, maybe a half a day or a day to do a form of a reflection for this half a year. Do we still want to continue to do something that we don't like to do and we don't believe in? If not, probably start to think about doing something else. Either find out new opportunities. But if there are no new opportunities over there, I think some of you are looking at what Shirley wanted to do in the past, which is entrepreneurship. To start something on my own, how cool it is. Like Lisa, you can tell her energy because now she is running her own business. She has started her own business. Later we will ask, and maybe we'll ask Shirley now is if we want to start entrepreneurship now, let's say I'm in my 20s or even 50s, how should I start? Shirley.
Yeah, thank you. So I think the best thing that I can tell people is to invite them to just embrace an opportunity that they have been given. A lot of us have been given all of us has actually been given natural talents, our natural abilities to do things that someone else finds very difficult, and I've always focused on those talents because I'm really not good with maths. And I'm really not good with any type of, working with, financial. The people in my company and the people that I work with, they normally say, okay, we'll do that. Because I really do focus on the things that I'm really, really good at. And I want to say to someone is, what is your goals? Because if you don't have goals, you can't work towards something, So I am very specific and I've always been very specific. Like I've got a goal and then I go for that goal and I make sure I achieve that goal. Sometimes I set high goals and I don't always reach that particular goal, but I get really close to it. But I do it with intention. And that's what someone should do. They should look at their unique abilities that they've got and then work with a goal. What is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to accomplish? And go for it.
How did you find that this is your something that you are really good at, and how did you get into it? How do you know that this is really something for you? How did you differentiate yourself and make you so successful in this online business?
So when I remember when I was still in school and you were talking, when you talk with your friends and everyone asked, what are you going to do after school? I knew I wanted to do beauty. Like, I think, I don't know about all of you, but I knew that beauty to me came quite natural. Like I could do an upstyle with hair, I can do makeup, and I love doing nails. The beauty just comes very naturally to me. So I knew that was the unique talent that I do have, and it's easy for me to make myself or dress myself up or whatever. So when I started actually doing nails, I never, gosh, in my wildest dreams imagined that I would be here today, being so successful. But I focused on one thing. I wanted to open up a beauty salon and I wanted to have everything in the beauty salon. But when I did that, I did waxing, I did all these things and nothing was really successful. And then I focused solely on just one thing. I focused on nails. And eventually that became so big and the money was good enough that I could actually employ and get people to work in the business and do those things, to do all of those things. Because in my mind, I thought I had to do all of it. So it's just, I think I learned a lot along the way, but I focused on one main thing and I made that very good. And I became a specialist in that field. And even today, I can do many things. I'm good with business because I had to go and learn. I had to go and do, training and whatever. But if you ask me anything about nails, or if you ask me anything about specifically a rubber base and the natural nail, I'm a specialist in it because that's the one thing that I did focus on.
I understand what Shirley is talking about because I started off my business as a financial wellness mentor when I first started. All the while, I was in the learning and development field. So there is one thing that I'm really passionate about, which is adult learning. But there are so many programs, so many workshops that adults can learn. So, which is one domain area that I want to focus on? So, in the past, I teach people about customer service, about personal attitude, about personal mastery, about communication skills, presentations, etc., etc. In the end, I focus on just one thing, which is on financial education. And I realize everyone needs to know about money and specifically the part about passive income because everyone, probably most people, would have a job, a salary, but they do not know how to grow their money. They do not know how to manage their finances. And that's where I found the opportunities in 2010. And that was where I joined a two-person who were the founders of this company on financial education and focusing on this topic about value investing, how to invest the way like Warren Buffett did. And we went so in depth, a lot of research, a lot of analysis to it that we become an expert over time. It's always this thing that Bruce Lee said. It is not about the many punches that you know, but he is afraid of that one punch that this person practiced 10,000 times. That is really powerful, right? And this is what Shirley did. She really went into it, focused on that one thing, believe and love the things that she loved to do. And I believe that was what Lisa is doing. And this is what Lisa is doing right now, starting with something that is really passionate. She believes in it, which is about empowering women, especially women who are in this stage of being a divorcee. What is your business about?
Thank you. I guess mine is more about once women, the relationship, all the messes, all the dust is settled. Shirley said she's an expert with nails. I am focusing on women in their 50s because that's how my divorce broke down. I was in my 50s and I had to recreate and rise up and create a new life. And I realized the way that I did it, the authentic way that I did it, is actually I created programs basically based on how I did it to help women rise up and recreate their new life. So a lot of women, they get stuck and they just they trudge. And there's so many things, like I guess people don't realize the impacts of divorce and what you have to go through to recreate a new life. It is new friends, it's your finances, it's getting a new look, a new identity. There's so much to it. So mine's not more about as you've just left the door, but it's when the mess, like the dust has settled and you're ready to say, what now? What do I need now? I want to travel by myself. Too scared to start to travel by myself. The programs that I'm working on actually will encompass everything from getting yourself on your way to actually learning to travel, finance, real estate. It's going to be big, but I'm going to start off small and grow it as quick as I can. Yeah. But I am, as I said, focusing on women in their 50s because that's my area of expertise. And as you're both saying, focus on one thing that you're good at. Others will come. Like I have had men saying, can I join your program? But I will get to them. Just let me get these ladies off the ground first.
Congratulations to Lisa because that was really a win for the first half of the year. Now, talking about the wins for first half of the year, we know Lisa right now ended her 40-year stint as an employee and now starting her new career as a woman in the 50s, empowering women in the 50s as well to lead a better life. How about Shirley? What is your win for the first half of 2025?
Well, so there's actually so many, but the one major thing is that my company has just gone through a merger, which I never expected. And so, yeah, that to me is a big.
Great, great. So in terms of the merger, which means you are having some financial payouts and it's a
Yeah,
good
so
merger.
what I've done, so I sold the nail brand. I sold that last year, and then the new owner of the brand came to me and she's like, okay, so basically. This is the plan. This is what you are doing. Why don't we put it together? Because I think that could work. And we did. And we've now launched this. It's a bigger thing, more online, also in person. But yeah, it's just working so well. So, and we're just going forward from there. So we're sort of going also into a partnership, which to me is very new. But yeah, I think it's going to.
Yeah, congratulations for
Thank you.
this. And yeah, that's true. We should always celebrate our wins for the first half of the year. Be it even a small win, like for example, losing that 1 kg of your weight that you want to lose, for example, right? Or finding a new boyfriend or girlfriend, that could be a win as well. Or as small as probably sometimes you might think a praise from your boss. That could be a win. So we are always looking at probably what we have not done well for the first half of the year, but I think one of the key reflections that we need to do is what are the wins that we have for the first half of the year. Now is the time for you to think through from January 2025 to from January 2025 to June 2025. Although June is not over yet, but it is going to be over soon, this is something that you might want to write down and reflect what is your win. And of course, there are things that we can do better for the next half of the year. So let me ask Lisa, what would you want to achieve? And if anyone, they are not achieving their goal right now, how should they readjust themselves to make sure that they meet the goal for the next half of the year?
Set an achievable goal.
Yeah.
In saying that, I'm probably setting myself for the next half of the year some really big goals to get my business off the ground. So, yeah, if you're not achieving, set achievable goals. I don't know if this sounds harsh, but make things non-negotiable. So go to the gym. My son actually has this. Go to the gym for 6 weeks in a row and make when you're going non-negotiable. So you can't, oh, I'm not going because I don't want to get out of bed or I've got something on. But yeah, so set achievable goals and set personal and professional goals. So you're in both sitting in both areas. Previous episodes we've spoken about mindfulness and things like that. So make sure you're looking after yourself as well as your work as well. So if your goal is to lose a kg or to fall in love, I'm single. I'm not putting that on my list. I'm too busy with my business. But yeah, personal and professional will actually lead to growth by the end of the year. Set little goals you can achieve.
Yeah. Little goals that you can still achieve for the next half of the year. How about Shirley? How should they be readjusting themselves if they are not meeting the first half of the year for the goals that they have set for 2025? They have another 6 to 7 months. How can they achieve it?
Well, Pauline, you've said it earlier, and I'm going to just elaborate a little bit on that. But reflection is so important. I always go back to my journals from 10, 15 years ago, and I sometimes read it, and I remember, and we will talk about this in the next episode. But I remember I was in this bad relationship, and I didn't want to be in that relationship, the relationship anymore. And I made a goal of it, and I worked with intention to change it, and to do it better. Same with my business. But if I'm looking back now at that journal, I was reading it the other day and I felt so sad for that person, and I felt so, and I sort of want to give her advice and say to her, you are going to be fantastic. You must see what's ahead. But that's why reflection work is so important. And then one other thing that I cannot go without in my personal life or in my business is an accountability partner. So important. Accountability partners has helped me tremendously. I always find someone that I could do something with, and we do it over 6 weeks or 4 weeks, and we just show up for each other every day the same time. And if we can't show up in person, then we show up on a video or a text message. So it's amazing. Accountability is the way to go. You take your power back when you have that accountability.
Thank you so much. Yes. What we have learned from Lisa and Shirley really, first of all, apart from celebrating our wins for the first half, would be to really do our reflection. And next would be to have an accountability partner. And that really works. One example I would like to share with you is that one of my friends, she has two goals for this year. And one is to make sure that she has consistent exercise regime. The other one is to start reading, her reading habit. So she got me as an accountability partner. There's nothing much I need to do. Basically, all I need to do is to make sure that every day she does the thing that she has said. So this is the thing that I'm very conscious when I'm the accountability partner, which is start something really, really small. Okay, what I mean by starting something really small. So what I told her was read 2 minutes, all right? Just 2 minutes of your time. Okay, every day without fail. No reasons, no excuse. Even when you're flying, can you read like a 2 minutes? So we do it for 100 days without fail. If you stop any day, we will restart the cycle all over again. Yeah.
Oh.
So we started it on the 1st of January, and in between, sad to say, she actually dropped it twice. She beat herself up. She was saying this is not going to work, and all the negative comments came in. When she was actually demotivated, what I told her was this. Do you realize something? You didn't celebrate your wins. You have completed 3 books. You have started something which you wouldn't able to do in the past years. So why did you beat yourself up? This is the role of me as an accountability partner. So this is where you would see that eventually, even though you might not have met the goal that you have set, let's say I want to achieve that 1 million for this year, but I believe you will definitely reach somewhere that is far from zero. You definitely have to believe in yourself and love what you are doing right now. And secondly, if you want to have a better second half of the year, what you could do is start something small and have an accountability partner to help you with it. So all the best to your 2025. And if you like this channel, please remember to like, subscribe, and share our channel in Global Sassitude. And we're gonna see you in our next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.